Hello, welcome to my latest video. I apologise in advance if my dogs start barking. They've been quite vocal today. When I'm painting, they're in the lounge, and I have TV for dogs, which is on YouTube. Just keep them occupied and calm. But occasionally a sheep or something shows up, or a squirrel on TV for dogs, which causes them to bark. So I apologise if that happens. Hope you're keeping well on whatever day we're on. Monday the 23rd of May. And yeah, hope you're keeping well. Just going to give this palette knife a wipe from earlier on. Going to be painting on this A3 piece of figure ass paper, nice canvas paper, heavyweight, and I've just primed it with some that nice I can't remember the bloody name of it now without looking at the thing. Call it Magic White. What's it bloody called? Liquid White. Bloody hell, God, come on, John. It's because I've been at work over the weekend and my brain is fried. So anyway, we'll see what we can do. Just gonna start off finding my brush. Give that a wipe as well. I like my palette. There are plastic plate as usual. Got cobalt blue with some green mixed in, titanium white, bit of red, a bit of yellow there, sap green, Payne's grey and some magenta, and there's a bit of linseed oil mixed in as well. And yeah, we'll make a start. I'll start with some of this bluey green, load my brush up, just wax some in the top there. Yeah, so I was in Buxton last week, so I didn't take all my painting stuff with me. So obviously took a camera with me and did a load of photography, which was nice. Mostly from inside the car as a passenger. It's where most of my photography comes from. Quite a nice pleasing colour, this bluey green. I do quite like it, it's quite interesting. Just drag it down the page a bit. But yeah, I've missed painting last week, really did. I've been desperate to paint. Right, bit more, drag it down the page a bit more. Oh, I'd forgotten how nice liquid white was. So anyway, that's it. You notice my board came a bit loose. I've just fixed my A3 paper just onto the back of this canvas panel. There's a painting on the reverse, but I'm not going to sell it, so it don't matter if it gets paint on the other side. Might just get a bit of Payne's grey, just establish a quick horizon. There we go, and a bit of sap green as well down here. Not bad, it's a start. Really does help the flow using liquid white. I can't bloody talk today. I do have a bit of a speech impediment that was a bit of a pain in the arse at school. So I used to get mimicked, I used to get mocked quite a bit, and it's kind of got better as I've got older. but I do have to sometimes pause and backtrack a little. So I have every bit of sympathy with people who've had experiences of a speech impediment. Not bad. Oh, there's bloody Norman barking again. My apologies. Yeah, cheers, Norman. Yeah, on Wednesday, this last Wednesday, went to my auntie's funeral. My auntie Shirley, who died the other week. It was my mum's sister, and it was actually nice. You know, you can get nice funerals, and that was one of them. I've been to loads of funerals, but I've been to only 3 burials. You don't get as many these days. And my auntie was buried, and it was the first time you grab a handful of soil and chuck it in. The first time I'd ever done that, and it was surreal. It was like it was in slow motion. Because whenever you see it on films, I think of on Netflix, The Crown, whenever they buried somebody, there was always somebody chucking a handful of soil in first, and it's always filmed in slow motion. And it was weird, it did actually happen in slow motion. It was a strange feeling. So yeah, never experienced that before. So yeah, it was nice going back to Buxton, catching up with family. I might get a bit of yellow now. Yeah, it was nice after the funeral. You know, you meet up with family and you kind of remember the funny times, and by God, there were many. With Auntie Shirley, hundreds of funny times. She was the secretary. You know, she was a trained bookkeeper and everything, and she was a secretary at a big convent school, Mount Carmel Convent School in Cheshire. And yeah, she was very clever. Organisational skills were second to none. And you know, I think she was the bursar as well, or something like that, involved with the finances of the place. And you know, as part of her job, she'd be answering the phones. She'd, you know, a couple hundred phone calls a day, probably more. And she'd answer the phone by saying, Mount Carmel Convent School, how can I help? And that was it. And you know, there was one particular day she'd been answering the phone in that manner a lot. And you know, she was very religious. She's Catholic, and I say very religious, but she never really inflicted it on anyone else. I can't think of one time where she preach to anyone or inflict it on anybody, and she didn't do it with us. But yeah, she'd been answering the phones at this convent, you know, Mount Carmel Convent School, how can I help? And she went to Mass, as they often did at the convent and at various churches and God knows where else. And this one occasion, I think my mum was there as well, went to a Mass, and at some point during the Mass you all go and get the communion, which is a little bit of bread representing the body of Christ, and some wine which represents the blood of Christ, you know. So you all kneel down on this bench with your hands kind of ready to receive the communion, and they're all sat there. And what happens, I don't know if you've been to a Catholic mass, but the priest or whatever comes down the line of the congregation who are kneeling down in front of the altar, one at a time, and says something like the body of Christ, and then you reply by saying, I can't bloody remember, I think it's been 30 odd years since I've been to a mass, something like thanks be to God. So he was going down the line saying the body of Christ, you say thanks be to God, and he gives you the bread, you know, little bread wafer. And he were doing that right the way down the line, and reached my mum, and he said the body of Christ. She said thanks be to God, and she took the bread and all the rest of it. He then got to my auntie and he said the body of Christ, and my auntie said Mount Carmel Convent School, how can I help? God, funny. And oh yeah, I'd forgotten that happened, and my mum was telling us about it the other day, and God, it was funny. Because you know, she spent the whole day saying it hundreds of times, and it just rolled off the tongue. I'd have loved to have seen the priest's face. Oh, funny. Yeah, she often said that. It was one of her phrases she often used, was how can I help, or how can I help you? And my mum was saying the other day, she was thinking about what to have inscribed on a gravestone. And she was thinking of stuff and couldn't think of anything. And I suggested just having, can I help? Or can I help you? Or whatever, you know. And so it should be quite funny. Yeah, can I help you? But she lived in a warden controlled, you know, she lived in a flat that as she got more advanced years, she you know, she could contact the warden if she needed anything, or a care company or whatever, and they'd come out, or they'd help her over the phone and stuff like that. So she had various buttons around the house she could press, and a cord in the bathroom, and bloody everything else, proper Peter Kay style, you know. And it's more than one occasion she'd bloody gone to bed, and this one particular time she had a little button on her wrist, so if she was having a problem she could press the button, and that's it. The warden had contact her and everything else, and people would show up in the house, and ambulances called, and bloody everything else she needed. But there was one time she went to sleep and she rolled over on this bloody button, and it summoned the warden, and she woke up at 3 in the morning and stood around her bed was, you know, whoever, a couple of members of the care company, warden, and the police were there because they had to make entry into the house. There was an ambulance crew there, all stood around her bloody bed at 3 in the morning, and she opened her eyes and said, how can I help you? So yeah, that was one of her favourite phrases. Yeah, she had us in stitches when she was telling that story to us. Yeah, she had a brilliant sense of humour. Good old Auntie Shirley. This is coming on quite nicely. Not bad at all. It could be somewhere up in Bleaklow in the Peak District, somewhere like that. Kinder Scout perhaps. But yeah, it's not looking too bad at all. Just while I've been talking away, just creating a picture without even thinking about it. Yeah, me and my brother, we were raised as Catholic boys, good Catholic, you know, upbringing and all the rest of it. Because my mum and my auntie, they were in the convent school, Mount Carmel, that my auntie ended up working in. They attended that school, and we used to go there as kids to Mount Carmel, you know, to visit Auntie Shirley and everything, and there'd be bloody nuns everywhere, you know, all the habits and all the other stuff they have and the crosses, with names like Sister Ignatius of the Immaculate Conception or Sister Mary of the Broken Cross and names like that, you know, proper nuns. I'll never forget one time went to where did I go? Come on John, where bloody hell did I go? Lindis Farm, Northumberland. And we went round the old abbey, you know, it's now ruined, at Holy Island, Lindis Farm. And there was a monk and a nun just there in the abbey, you know, just talking about local history and bloody everything else. But they were proper real, you know, a nun and a monk. And they were there talking and being religious and bowing their heads and all sorts of other stuff that monks and nuns do. And they were there, and yeah, they'd be talking to people about stuff. But anyway, we'd been there, and you know, you do whatever tourists do at an abbey. And now Lindis Farm, I don't know if you've ever been on the island, but it's tidal. You get cut off. You know, if you don't get across the causeway, that's it. You're cut off for 8 hours or however long the tide lasts. So this one occasion we'd been to the abbey and we got cut off and we're stuck on the island, which was fantastic because it was, you know, it was heaving with people. But then everyone buggered off back onto the mainland, other than us, a few locals, and the nun and the monk. So we thought we'll go to the pub, just while the time away in the pub, which was bliss really. You know, I had a couple of Guinnesses and all the rest of it. And you'd never guess, you know, I'm not making this up, you know, you couldn't make this up, you never guess who was in the pub playing pool. It was the nun and the monk. I couldn't bloody believe it. Yeah, well, they're both playing pool while you know, the tourists had bogged off, and they obviously while the time away in the pub. God, it was funny. I can't remember if they were drinking or not. You know, I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, it was funny watching them playing pool. Oh, this is coming on quite nicely. I might do some few clouds in that sky. I'm really pleased with this. Really pleased. I'm interested in that cluster of rocks there. It really draws the eye in. So yeah, there's a bit of something going on there, so I might exploit that. A bit of titanium white. just there like that. Coming on nicely, a bit more here. Yep. Might do a bit more just around here as well. Just there like that. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it very nicely. Cool. Right, where's my oh, get this nice long handled brush. Just check my camera's actually in focus, which it is. That's good. Just swirl that round a bit, make it a bit more interesting. Don't want to tempt fate, but I'm glad the dogs have shut up. Obviously relaxed a bit now. Yeah. By the way, thank you for liking what I do, all your comments and things. It really does mean a lot. Don't forget to subscribe, and as well as YouTube, I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and my website jonkidd.co.uk. Just put Jon Kidd Artist or Jon Kidd Art into Google and I show up. I've gone quite well up the pecking order now on Google, which is good. I might put a little bit of something there just to keep the eye in. Yeah, there we are, that'll do it. Not bad at all. Where's my little palette knife? There it is. Just add some at there. There we go. A few scratches as well. Not too bad. Not bad at all. And something there, again, just keeps the eye within the picture. Last thing I want is for the eye just to bugger off somewhere, you know. I like to try and keep it in. But yeah, that looks just about dandy. It'll do for me. So short and sweet, not bad at all. A bit more yellow perhaps, just over here. We shall see. Yeah, there we are. Lovely. Good stuff. The job is a good one. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your likes and your comments and your messages and stuff. Oh, I just need to sign it and get my little liner. Just sign the corner, which is easier said than done when you've got shaky hands like me. Just quick signature. Jon Kidd. God, I've got shaky hands. I need my tablets. Jon Kidd 22. Yeah, it'll hopefully dry nicely and frame well, I think. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.